I welcome you all in this video. In this video, we will solve one numerical based on lever design, that is on lever loaded safety valve. So lever loaded safety valve is an application of lever. This problem was asked in the December 2016 university examination. Now let us read a numerical statement. A lever loaded safety valve is 70 mm in diameter. It is required to blow off at a pressure of 1.5 Newton per mm square. The length of the lever is 1000 mm. The distance between the fulcrum and the toggle is 100 mm. Determine the amount of dead weight to be put at the end of lever. Also determine the size of the pins at the fulcrum, toggle, and the size of the rectangular cross section. Use the following permissible stresses. The tensile stress is equal to 60 megapascal, shear stress is equal to 50 megapascal, and bearing pressure is equal to 12 megapascal. Also, we have been given one assumption. The length of pin is equal to 1.5 times of diameter of pin, and the B is equal to thrice T. So as we know that the rectangular cross section is considered, so it has a width and it has thickness. So relation between width and thickness is given, that is B is equal to thrice T. Now, before solving this numerical, shortly or quickly we will understand the working of this lever loaded safety valve. So this is a lever loaded safety valve. Let us consider the components of this. This is a fulcrum. So about this fulcrum pin, this lever will pivot either in anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction. This is a valve spindle. This is a valve, and this is a valve seat. Okay. So this valve seat is connected with the boiler. Okay, along with the valve body. This is the end of this lever, and at the end of this lever we have attached the dead weight, which causes the force in vertical downward direction. Okay. Now basically this lever loaded safety valve consists of these three pins: pin at the fulcrum, pin at the valve spindle, and pin at the dead weight. Okay. Distance between this fulcrum and the valve spindle is L2. This valve spindle is also called as strut or toggle. Distance between fulcrum and the dead weight is L1. Okay. Now this lever loaded safety valve is used in the boiler to maintain the pressure in the boiler within the desired limit or within the normal level. Okay. Now what happens at the normal pressure inside the boiler, when the pressure inside the boiler is within the normal range, the force which is caused by dead weight, it is in vertical downward direction, and because of this vertical downward direction force, this valve remains closed. Now this vertical downward force caused by dead weight, it is transmitted to this valve spindle, and it is further transmitted to this valve, by which this valve remains closed. Okay. It happens, that means valve is closed when the pressure in the boiler is within the normal range. Now when the pressure in the boiler exceeds beyond the normal range, the force which is caused by this steam pressure, which is in upward direction, it exceeds beyond the normal range, and it causes the vertical upward direction of this valve, that is opening of valve results, and this valve will open, the excess steam will go out from this boiler, and as the result of that the pressure will start again decreasing, and the pressure will go below the normal range, and again the valve will moves in the downward direction. That means valve get closed under the action of this vertical downward force caused by dead weight. So this is the simple working of this lever loaded safety valve. Now we can represent this lever loaded safety valve with this simple diagram. So this is a point A, that is the point at which this lever is pivoted, that is fulcrum. This is the point B at which valve spindle is connected with the valve, and this is the point C at which dead weight is attached at the end of this lever. Distance between A and B is L2. Distance between fulcrum, that is point A and C, is L1. Okay. Now the force which is exerted by the steam pressure on this valve can be determined by using one equation, but before that you have to understand the terms involved in this equation. So first term involved in this equation is blow off pressure. So blow off pressure is the pressure at which this valve gets open. Okay. So when the pressure inside the boiler exceeds the value of blow off pressure, this valve will get open, the excess steam goes out from the boiler, and pressure drops down, okay, below the normal range. So this is the pressure at which valve opens, or if the pressure goes beyond this blow off pressure, if the pressure increases above the blow off pressure, valve get opens. Okay. Now this is the diameter of valve. Okay. So by using diameter of valve, and by using this blow up pressure we can find out the force exerted by the steam on this wall. So for that purpose we have to use this equation. To blow up pressure is equal to force upon area. We know that pressure is equal to force upon area, but as pressure here we have to consider as blow up pressure. Okay, so force we have denoted by W, that is the force acting at this point B on this wall spindle. Okay, it is in vertical upward direction. The force P is in vertical downward direction. Okay, so just we have to look at now how to find out this W. So blow up pressure is equal to force upon area. Force is the force caused by steam pressure at point B. Okay, it is in vertical upward direction. Now the area of this wall can be written as pi by 4 diameter of wall bracket square, pi by 4 d square. So as here we cannot use the notation for d. We cannot use the notation d as a diameter of wall because already we have to use this d term for the diameter of pin. Okay, so we will simply write here diameter of wall bracket square. Okay, so force W, area pi by 4 diameter of wall bracket square, and this blow up pressure. So in the numerical, blow up pressure will be given to you. So if you put the value of blow up pressure, if you put the diameter of wall which will be given in the numerical, we can find out W easily. Okay, now let us write the further given data. Now diameter of wall which is required to find out the force W is given, it is 70 mm. Blow up pressure is given 1.5 mm, 1.5 Newton per mm square. Then the length of lever is 100 mm that we have shown in this diagram. That is this length of lever, that is L1 is equal to 1000 mm that we have shown. The distance between the fulcrum and the toggle is 100 mm. Distance between this fulcrum and this toggle, that is wall spindle, is 100 mm. That is L2 is equal to 100 mm that we have written. And then to determine the amount of dead weight to be put at the end of lever, that means we have to find out this force P caused by dead weight. Okay, so we have to write here P is equal to question mark, that is amount of dead weight attached at the end of lever. Now next, also determine the size of the pins of the fulcrum and toggle. Okay, so we have to determine the D, that is diameter of pin. And next we have to determine the size of the rectangular cross section. So as we know that the rectangular cross section consists of two parameters, that is width B and thickness T. So we have to determine B and T. Okay, and at the end we have been given the values of permissible stresses. So first is the permissible tensile stress. So permissible tensile stress is given 60 megapascal. Then permissible shear stress is 50 megapascal, and permissible bearing pressure PB is equal to 12 megapascal. Okay, so apart from these permissible stresses given, okay, we required two permissible stresses, that is permissible crushing stress. So take permissible crushing stress sigma C is equal to sigma T is equal to 60 megapascal. Okay, and one more permissible stress we required, it is permissible bending stress sigma B. So always we take permissible bending stress equal to permissible tensile stress equal to 60 megapascal. Okay, so these two permissible stresses we have to assume as per this equation, and already we have seen that the permissible crushing stress is always equal to permissible tensile stress except for quarter vent, and permissible bending stress is always equal to permissible tensile stress. So we have taken this value here. Okay, now after writing given data we have to start the solution. So we will start with the step number 1, that is force calculation, and in the bracket you write what exactly we have to do in this first step number 1, that is we have to determine the calculate, or we have to determine force P, force W, or force R, whichever is unknown. Okay, now let us look at this diagram. So force P is nothing but the force caused by dead weight, it is acting downward. Force W is force caused by steam pressure acting vertical upward, and this is the reaction force at this fulcrum. Okay, which is we have assumed it in vertical upward direction. Okay, so now right now you assume this in vertical upward direction, and depending on the value of this R we will decide about its direction. Okay, so now first of all, in order to find out the force PWR, we have to look at this diagram. So which force we can determine first? So if you take the summation of bending moment at point A equal to 0, okay, if you take summation of bending moment at point A equal to 0, we can determine this P. Okay, but here W force is not given directly. So first of all we have to determine this force W by using this formula: blow up pressure is equal to force upon area, that is W upon pi by 4 diameter of wall bracket square. And after calculating W, we can take summation of force, summation of bending moment at point A is equal to 0, and we can determine P. So let us begin with this first calculation of W. So first calculate W, and let us use this formula. So blow up pressure is equal to, let us write this formula here. So now I have written this formula: blow up pressure is equal to W upon pi by 4 diameter of wall bracket square. We know the blow up pressure, it is 1.5. So let us put the value of blow up pressure, it is 1.5. W that we have to determine upon pi by 4 into diameter of wall is 70 mm. So let us put the value of diameter of wall 70 mm and it's square. So now calculate this W. So if you calculate this, you will get the answer of W as 5772.6 Newton. Okay, now let us calculate P. So in order to find out P after calculating W, we can take the summation of bending moment at point A equal to 0. So let us write summation of bending moment at point A is equal to 0. So if we take this bending moment due to force P positive, as it is clockwise, so we will take the clockwise bending moment positive. So P into this distance is 1000 mm. So P into this distance is 1000 from this point A. Now the bending moment because of this force W is anti-clockwise, we will take it as a negative. So minus W into distance AB is 100 is equal to 0. So let us put the value of W here. So P into 1000 minus 5772.6 into 100 is equal to 0. Let us calculate this force P. So if you calculate this, you will get the answer 577.26. So let us write this answer. So P is equal to 577.6.26 Newton. Okay, so this is the force P acting at the end of lever. But if you look at this diagram, this force P is nothing but the force caused by dead weight, and that is nothing but the amount of dead weight. So we can write here that is the amount of dead weight is equal to 577.26 Newton. So this is nothing but the force caused by dead weight, that is amount of dead weight in Newton. Okay, now let us determine the R. Okay, if you take the summation of vertical forces equal to 0, we can find out this R. So for that purpose, we have to write here summation of forces in y direction equal to 0. Vertical upward forces take positive, so R is vertical upward, that we have assumed. So plus R plus W, as W is acting in vertical upward direction and P is acting in vertical downward direction, so it is a negative. So minus P is equal to 0. Let us put the value of W and P, and let us calculate R. So by putting the value of W and P, you have to calculate this R, and the answer of R is minus 5195.34 Newton. And as I already told you that after calculating R, depending on the value of R, we have to decide whether to keep this assumed direction of R in same direction or we have to change. So as the answer is negative, that indicates that direction of R needs to be changed. Okay, so therefore let us write R is equal to 5195.34. so this is the value of R, and here this negative sign indicates direction of R needs to be changed. Okay, so we will change the direction of this R. So this is the changed direction of R, okay, in vertical downward direction. So this is the calculation of P and R, and W we have determined from blow pressure and diameter of wall. So out of these three forces, we have to select the maximum value of force for further calculation. So therefore we have to write here one sentence. So we have to write this: select the maximum value of force for further calculation. Therefore maximum of P, W or R is, if you look at this value W, it is 5772.6, P is 577.26 and R is 5195.34. So maximum value out of this is W, that is 5772.6 Newton. So we will use this maximum value of force for further design, that is design of pin and design of a lever.